What's going on, guys? This is Damien from The Lookout, and today we're taking a bit of a break from BT25 to try out something new, because I have a lot of these weird decks in the pipeline that are actually kinda good, and I'm pretty sure that most of you have never played them before. So we're gonna have like a weird Wednesday where I can showcase these decks. And today we're going over Red Extra Card Broly from BT15. Is it better than the green version? I think so. Honestly, I think so. But before we begin the video, if you wish to try out this deck, you can do so every Friday at our locals, 8 PM Central European Time. Free entry, proxy legal, open to all regions. A link to our Discord is in the description below. Go have fun, enjoy some games, and you can also practice for upcoming regionals. And of course, a huge shout out to the Coffee Club, our lovely patrons. These are our $2 and up patrons. They buy us coffee, they keep this crazy content grind going, and guys, thanks out for your support. If you wish to join the Coffee Club, link to a patron is in the description below. And I think that's about everything. Roll the video. As with all of our videos, let's start with the breakdown. So, Weird Deck Wednesday, first edition, Red Broly. Okay, so not the swap Broly, not the very weird trash Broly that is gonna be showcased later in our upcoming series that we're currently filming. This is the Red Extra Card Broly from BT15. I'm gonna give you a brief archetype breakdown, we'll go over new support, then I'll show you my deck list, and we'll just wrap it up with a skipped summary. Let's go. Okay, here we have him, the Broly. So, yeah, this one was very overlooked because it came out in what a lot of people assume was one of the worst sets in Dragon Ball, like many years ago. That was set 15, Saiyan Showdown. And the problem with this deck, before the Z deck, was the permanent. You can't include the non-Broly battle cards in your deck. You just flat out can't run the Reddit super combo, for example. You cannot run defeating the demon. You can't include them. Not play, include. That's the big scary thing. So it's one of the craziest, right now, it's one of the craziest leaders that you've probably never played. The permanent is extremely crippling, but it doesn't affect the Z deck. So you can still have non-Broly cards and you can still play them from the Z deck. On auto, on attack, you ditch one extra card specifically to draw 2. That's great because you need 7 extra cards in the drop, and you awaken at 3 lives or less, and it's one of the best awakenings in the game. You draw 2 cards and then you restand an energy. Like that's a very powerful awakening. On the awakened side, your leader is an absolute monster. So the auto is huge, but what it effectively says is on attack you draw 1, and then if you have 7 or more extra red extra cards in your drop, you can use the activate battle of one of them, which isn't a field, cost 3 or less, and then if you do so for free, and then if you do so you send a card to the warp. That's it. Like, it's a lot of words for that effect. What you can get here is you can get, for example, you can get plus 5k in crit, so it can become 20 crit. You can get draw 1 plus 10k double, because I think you draw as well. You get 10k double, so you're 25k double striker. Or you can use the gigantic meteor and just give your leader plus 25k for free, so he becomes 40k for no investment at all. There's a lot of things that you can do. Also, ditch an extra card with the other activate battle. Choose 1 red extra card in your hand and discard it. This card gets plus 5k power for the battle. So transform an extra card into a combo piece, basically. The deck got a lot of support over the last couple of sets. Some direct, some indirect. And this made me take another look at it. So we have this promo Broly. He's effectively a 1 cost if you have 4 or more extra cards in your drop. When he attacks you, ditch an extra cards, an extra card from your hand, he immediately draws 2, so it is ditch 1, draw 2, minus 25k a card, and he's a 25k attacker. Like, this card is amazing. Then you get Goku. Goku is a cheap removal and a cheap double strike attacker. He's effectively 1 energy, 2Z energy. If you have a 30k or more, that's the boss monster. So if you have the boss monster, you can play this guy for cheap. And of course, Peter Dance's card, the Explosive Dance, like the best red floodgate in the game at the moment. Okay guys, I am here with Deck Planet, you know the drill, the best deck builder in the world. Let's go over the deck. So you already know what the leader does. So let's just start with 4 copies of Broly, Slumbering Demon, and 2 copies of Crown of Retribution. So Broly, Slumbering Demon, you completely ignore. Activate main. You'll never get it off. You don't have the condition to do so. He's just auto when he's played from your hand, draw 1. He's just a cantrip. Crown of Retribution, if it hits something, that's amazing. It's probably not gonna do that most of the time, but what you need in the deck is you need some way to charge the energy. And you don't want to ditch your promos or your boss monsters. So these cards help you out. Then 4 copies of SS Broly, a legend appears. The card is absolutely insane. I've talked about it already. But yeah, 1 energy, 35k, 25k, ditch a card, draw 2, minus something by 25. This card is absolute monster. And then we have the only card that will have a slide for, the boss monster. The only mid-profile slide is gonna be this one. So the boss monster, because he's a word soup. There are way too many words. Effectively, he's a free cost 35k deflect double strike auto. Choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. When you use activate battle effect on an extra card cost 3 or more, you restand him. And then if you have ditched another copy of this Broly, what happens is that you draw 2 cards and then you choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and give it minus 35k. So there's a lot to it. His worst case, he's a 35k double strike dual attacker, because he always restands when you ditch something. Best case, he is a free cost 35k double strike dual attacker, draw 2, minus a card by 35k ignoring barrier. Yeah, there's a ton of value here. Keep in mind, you can also just swing with him and then like give him a crit or give him like plus a bunch of power. Usually you just give him crit, right? You give him plus 5 crit and then he's 40k. So the card is insane. The card is absolutely insane. So how do you help your boss monster when it comes to consistency? You run 2 copies of the demon approaches. Permanent, it's a 1 cost basically, that's it. But it's a free cost, so it can get some effects online, including your boss monsters one. Activate main, limit 1, discard 1 other mono red extra card from your hand, draw 1 and then take a life. This is great if you're looking to awaken very fast. But the big one is activate battle, limit 1. Choose up to 1 mono red Broly card in your battle area with an energy cost of 6 or less, which is your boss monster, and add up to 1 card with the same name as the chosen card from your deck to your hand, and then you shuffle the deck. So if you don't have the other copy of the SR to ditch it, yeah, sure, pay 1. The auto will still trigger from the 35k boss monster because this is a free cost. Grab another copy and then ditch it. Draw 2, minus 35k something, ignoring barrier. The card is great. Then we have 4 copies of the super combo. Unfortunately, the only super combo that we can run now, because it's a Broly one. It's a sparking super combo, so sparking 5. When this card is used in a combo, draw 1. Usually I would say this is great because you can use it on very high lives, but you want to go down to 3 to really start getting value. But it helps you survive then. And now we have the big one. Gigantic Meteor. Also costs 1, technically. Activate Battle. This is the one that you're using a lot of the times with your leader. If it's your turn, choose any number of your opponent's battle cards which add to 30k or less power and KO them. So it can be one big one, it can be two medium-sized one, or just a bunch of cards from the field. Or, and this one can win you games if your opponent is caught off guard. Choose up to one of your leader or unison cards. We don't run unisons. And it gets plus 15k power, and it has its skills negated for the battle. Additionally, if your leader is a brawly card, the chosen card gets plus 10k more for the battle. So if you can deal only 1 damage with it, because it negates crit, it negates double, all of that other things. But this is effectively pay 1 plus 25k. For example, let's say your opponent is on 1 life, you need to push, pay 1 energy, give plus 25k. You can do this with your leader, make him a 40k attacker. Yeah, it's 1 damage, but it is 40k, so the card is great. And then you have the combat trick ones. You have 3 copies of Demonic Barrier. This one is also 1 cost. Give one of your cards plus 5k, and if it's a brawly, it gains crit. So plus 5k and crit. The other one is plus 10k and the double strike. And draw 1. So the other one is draw 1, then choose one of your cards, give it 10k, and then if it's a brawly, doesn't need to be a battle card, double strike. Use this with your leader. Your leader drew 1 on attack. You've used this from your drop for free, so draw 1 from attacking, draw 1 from the card that's draw 2, and become a 25k double striker. Like, it's amazing. Then you have the rest of the package. 4 copies of the Demon Awakens to help you awaken faster. Activate Battle. Choose one of your cards, gets plus 5k for the battle. Activate Main, limit 1, burst 1. If your leader is Red Brawly and you send this card from your drop to your warp, add 1 card from your life to your hand. So just limit 1, burst 1, take a life. Cease to exist and at only 2 copies, because I don't think that it is as good anymore. Yeah, it is barrier removal. You can choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and give them minus 25k for the turn. But currently we are in 30k meta, and there's not a lot of things that you can remove anymore ignoring barrier. And there are other ways to just nuke the field with your brawlies. So just cut it down to 2. Activate Battle is you give your leader plus 5k for the battle. You can do that for free. I think 2 copies is okay. 3 copies of Kaba's Awakening. It's a 0 cost. Give your card plus 6k for the battle. Like, that's it. It's a 0 cost 6k combo. We don't run a lot of combo power here. Plus we want 7 extra cards in the drop. This is a way of getting there. That's basically why you run it. Freeze's Deadball. You need to run Freeze's Deadball. It's a staple. And then we have the Negate package. 2 copies of Imposing Presence, because we can play it for free. 4 copies of Explosive Dance. It helps the deck a lot. And 3 copies of Unending Awakening. So I took a lot of the inspiration from my friend Cody Wojtek's deck. Mine is a bit smaller. I'm running 50 something. He's running like 60. So some of this is his deck, and yeah, huge shout out to him. Unending Awakening. I was unsure until I started trying it out, but it is good, and I like it more than the Brawly card. Counter attack, negate the attack, then choose one of your Red Saiyan leaders, and it gets plus 5k for the turn. It's just make your leader 20k for 1, and you negate the attack and you fill your drop with extra cards. I like this one a lot. Then 1 copy of Testing the Opposition, and finally the SCR SS4 Broly. Like, there's no reason not to run it. I am toying with Bursting Rage. Like, the list that I've played the most has Bursting Rage in it. Because, well, you know, it's Bursting Rage. Why not? Why not give your leader on top of 40k, give him like plus 20 as well? So like make him a 60k attacker. Why not? But this is for Broly, works great in the deck because you have the boss monster to abuse it with. And then we have the Z deck, no side deck, 3 copies of Goku, 1 Vegeta, 1 Defender of Life, because hey, you take your opponent to lower lives, it's easier to kill them. 2 copies of the Z Unison, just in case that you want to play it. It's another one of Cody's decks. I haven't played it a single time. I've had no use of this card, but maybe sometimes you can just randomly win with it. 2 copies of the Z Extra, and of course 1 copy of Surmounting to help you awaken faster. So yeah, that's the deck. That's it for the video. Let me know in the comments below, will you try out this deck? You can find my build in the description below. Yeah, the lighting has been all over the place today. It's a bit weird in Denmark at the moment, but will you try out this deck? Let me know in the comments. I read all of your comments. I try to respond to everything. I love our little community. And while you're here, share the video, hit those like and subscribe buttons, help us get to 6k subs when I'm gonna give away a booster box. This has been Damien from the Lookout, and I'll see all of you in the next video.